Merely, I've been thinking these productivity apps we use every day at work, like Google Docs, Microsoft Office, and Adobe Photoshop, or Sketch for that matter, for design needs. I've seen personally a split in my time spent on these apps versus the new generation apps like Notion and Coda. I use them more for my documentation these days because they have templates that I can reuse and get my work done faster, like template for roadmap, template for a project plan, and so on and so forth. Why is there a sudden change?
Morning, I was actually on Canva because I wanted to design a Chinese New Year cover. So I went on Canva, I typed Chinese New Year, and I was able to see all these different templates as you see. So I think what we're looking at is actually templates as a product for design and collaboration. And there's just so much to unpack there. How about we talk about this today?
Love it, love it, love it. Let's do templates as a product.
Hi everyone, this is Marily, a product manager at Google.
Hi everyone, this is Mayank, a product manager at Facebook. And welcome to Product Breakdown. This is a weekly series. We cover a new product every week. We break down why it's hot, what's its product strategy, what it means for the users and industry. And today, as Marily mentioned, we'll talk about template as a product. Marily, let's get started. Tell us, what are these products?
Yes, that sounds good. First of all, I just love this product. I'm obsessed with them. Let's say you want to create an Instagram story. You can just go Canva and search Instagram story template, and you will find great palettes, great font and palettes and color combinations, great layouts, great shapes, great little animations, great videos, or you can even do it for your YouTube video or your podcast or your school assignment or your product strategy or your roadmap. It's incredible how many templates you can find, and you can just be a professional designer on your own within seconds. Now, that's for Canva. As work, as you're a product manager as well, we create screens, we create flows, we work with UX designers. There's software like Figma where you can actually look at the templates or whatever the designer has put together, and you can collaborate with your designer live on the screen by adding comments and communicating and so on. So we're looking at templates that you can use on your own, or we're looking at amazing collaboration software that can use templates or not, that allow for super awesome collaboration. Have you used any of these?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely there for design on Canva. I think I have used the one specifically for uh, documentation. I use Coda a lot and also Notion based on like what I'm doing, but I'm now moving towards Coda a lot more. And Notion I have been using specifically for task management. They're templates for task management. And think about Notion, it's very similar to Google Docs. There's nothing different there. It's exactly like Google Docs. A white screen shows up, but then it asks you, what do you want to do? And that's a great question, right? What do you want to do? And I may want to create a roadmap, and there's a template for that. A product roadmap, there's a template for that. I want to create a task list for myself, that my weekly task list, there's a template for that. I can reuse these templates. I had a brainstorming template that I could use with different swim lanes attached to it. I could also have a template for project management, which all of these things, basically the underlying framework was the same, tables with some context. Nobody thought of doing it as a template. The best part was these templates where I can just click a few buttons and I'm ready to go and fill up my context. So I think that's what I liked about these apps. And on Notion, I also see a lot of influencers when I'm listening to them. They talk about how they use Notion to write book summaries, to keep a track of the books they have read, and so on and so forth. But Marily, from your perspective, what is so different about these products?
That's a good question. And honestly, the power lies in the templates. The templates, there's so much depth in the templates. Like product management interviewing 101. You're looking into the user, you're trying to figure out their use cases and the pain points, and you solve them. So what these people have done is they look through all the different use cases someone has when it comes to design, whether it is a presentation or a logo or a YouTube cover, you name it. And they have really created fantastic work there. And then they went away and anyone can use them. So they made them available for the world. And this is
Got
just
it.
so fascinating to think about. So yeah, that's exactly where the power lies within.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, the most designs or most documents that we write, like let's say example of our roadmap document or a review document that we do or a deck that a consultant presents, the structure remains the same. The headline and the way it's designed is remains the same. It's just that we go and change the context based on it. So things were reusable even before for these specific use cases, just that they were not available online. These guys, to your point, have gone deeper, learned about those use cases, and also made it available as a platform. I think I agree with you. Template definitely is the power. Really, what's your favorite? What do you like the most?
I mentioned it a lot, but it's Canva.
Yeah,
I use it every single day. I use it to make an Instagram post. I use
yeah.
it to create a banner for a newsletter I'm gonna send out. I use it for work. I wanted to make a really nice presentation that was a bit more fun and edgy, and I was
Mm.
able to find fantastic templates and animation. But my question is, what is the product strategy behind? We analyze why it's cool, we analyze why we love it, but what is the product strategy behind templates as a product?
Love it, love it. Yeah. By the way, like you are definitely on the creative side. I mean, I learned from you when you use Canva and the nice use of bold colors. I'm on the other side where I use mostly Miro for my mind maps and Notion and Coda for roadmap templates and maybe tasks for tasks that I have. Yeah. Coming back to product strategy, I think I'm not sure if they thought about this strategy sitting where they were sitting, that we have to build a better productivity app, and template became their sort of anchor going forward that will focus on template of the product. But well, where they are today, if you go back and look backwards, this is what we see. This is what we deconstruct, right? It's I think a 3 or 4 point strategy. Number one, you have to create a solid product. These products are really good even if you use it as a word editor or a design app. If you go to Miro or Canva, they're pretty good app without the templates too. Like they're as good as a Google Docs could be. You can add tables, you can do a lot of good stuff. So the baseline product was solid, no questions there. But they added a layer of novelty to that, which was highly customizable productivity app. Again, they're not there with templates yet. The first step was high quality, high performance, customizable productivity app. Exactly what Slack did for communication. You can send GIFs. You have shortcuts. You go to Notion, Coda, all these. Go to Canva. You have multiple shortcuts. It's highly customizable. There was the ethos of these products. Good, solid baseline product, highly customizable. Then came the rise, the creation of templates. That's where the second point comes into picture. They're not just productivity app, they became repository of content that you will use to create your content on top of that. That's the template play. They went deeper, understanding the top use cases. Let's say they started with the designers first on Canva. Okay, who are the people who use design content or YouTubers to create thumbnails? To your point, Instagrammers to create their posts and so on and so forth. For documentation, or you create slide decks, or you have roadmaps, or you have in the technology side, you have project management going on. They went deeper and just tried to collect these templates and started creating the templates. So again, good product, then came templates. The third thing is where the growth flywheel completes. That is, once you have these two things, how do you promote it? And first, it was again word of mouth, obviously, but word of mouth can go up to certain level to push you forward. They started using influencer marketing. If you go look at the new YouTubers who talk about productivity or generally about how they manage the YouTube channel, I can bet you Notion would come no matter what. Canva would come no matter what. So there was a blended marketing through influencer marketing that completed the story of the growth flywheel that these companies created. And also same goes for the template creators became influencers. So I think we were working on product manifesto. I think what we had those questions could also became a template for a lot of people on Coda to go and look at those questions and answer for their products. So I think that's the product strategy. Build a solid product, highly customizable. Second was go and create those templates by understanding specific use cases. And third is create the influencer marketing channel to close the loop of the growth flywheel. That's what I think is a product strategy. Anything to add, Marily? Did I miss anything there?
I think you added it all, but I also want to call out that it's fantastic that there is a template for everything. I
Yeah,
was just shocked to search something about Greece. I'm Greek and I was creating something for Greece, and I could find all
lovely.
these hundreds of icons and anything you can imagine. Also, one more thing I want to say is that Notion, I love it. And I know you compare it to Google Docs and you mentioned Slack. For me, it's the hybrid between Google Docs and
Lovely.
Slack because you can see who is on it, who is editing what and commenting and chatting. It's just fantastic. So it's really, really good.
Fantastic. Love it. Marily, you have used and paid for this more than I have. Love to know from you. What have you seen as the business model? How these apps are making money today?
We see pay to purchase content and templates. So, and of course, free content you can use. Essentially, when you perform a search, you can see all the results, but you can see the premium content has like a little icon saying Pro on Canva, so you cannot download it unless you pay. And there is like a monthly subscription or an annual subscription, which is much less, but it's so low for what it's offering. And I'm saying this because in the past I would look for logo templates and so on, and it would cost 30 per logo, something insane. Whereas now with a minimal amount, you can get this content for free, and it's vector based. You can change everything. You can have layers. It's really, really, really
Lovely.
great.
So I think what you're saying is one is the freemium model, free to browse, and sometimes you have to, and some you can download. Others, the pro, I mean the ones that are paid you to pay for it. So that's how you upgrade. And the other is that's the pay to purchase, and the freemium is you buy the entire subscription to sort of use the entire repository. I think one thing that I felt when I first used Canva, actually when you added me to Canva, was I felt that I was getting more for the money. Like that's it. Like whatever, $40, $50 for I don't know, 6 7 months, and I get
Yeah.
so much out of it. That Amazon Prime feeling was always there. So I really love the value they're creating versus just the money they make. But I completely like the model. Moving on to what's next in this area. Marily, what do you think? Where is this headed? Now, Google Docs was V1 of productivity. Microsoft Office was V1. Google Docs slash Office 365 became the one on the cloud. So let's say that's the next level. Third is this new generation template-based productivity apps we're seeing. What's next in this area? What do you think?
Yeah, these are just some hypotheses I have. But essentially, I can see new visual formats. They have some animations, they have some kind of clips, but I can actually see 3D videos or VR. And it's interesting. On every episode we do, when you ask me what's next, I always come up with VR. But imagine people creating content in VR and being able to work with each other and being able to see the roadmap in 3D. So this is the type of thing I can imagine. People may be able to have templates for coding. So if you want to create something with a certain library, you can just get the code ready. You can double down on no code templates, if you will. So people will be able to just drag and drop certain functions and so on. I can see things being expanded as a suite. So, for example, next generation Google Docs or Microsoft combining a document and a spreadsheet to make something that's a bit more interactive, a bit more. What do you think, Mayank?
I think you nailed it. New formats, obviously, logical extension of the product, right? Like they will go that direction. VR, obviously, I would love to see coding stuff, etc. I see a lot of consolidation of this space, and the sweet angle of yours is spot on. Well, there are apps that do video collaboration, or we can comment stuff, but there's nothing one application that gives you everything. So I do think you'll see a lot of acquisition and mergers happening in this space. And yes, the incumbents, let's call them the productivity apps, move towards the template as a product world very soon. And we might be seeing Microsoft and Google jumping into this bandwagon quickly, either through an acquisition or by creating their own story, own product, which extends their second phase of productivity apps like Google Docs, etc., into the new world of template as a product. So that's my big speculation, I would say. Awesome. I think we are at time, Merrily. Brilliant discussion with you. Always a pleasure. Let's summarize this. I can quickly go and summarize this today. These apps, the template as a product apps, are just blowing up. They are really here to stay. They are super powerful. Most of the companies like Canva, Notion, Coda, Miro have raised multiple millions of dollars at billions of dollar valuations. So they're actually growing. Our prediction is they will slowly start to move towards new formats to create more value beyond video and just the 2D, two-dimensional images. We also think about consolidation happening in the industry, along with the incumbents thinking about new mergers and acquisition to create suites where template is actually the default way people start working in these apps versus starting with the white document or white page.
Thank you. Thank you all. This was Product Breakdown. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast. Looking forward to seeing you here next time. Thanks.
Bye.